Good afternoon, Jets Nation. Welcome to the Jets Show. And according to Ian Rappaport, Elijah Moore, our second-round pick from last season, has requested a trade because he's frustrated with how he's been used with the Jets this season. Now, I personally don't know why Elijah Moore is frustrated with how he's been used, because the New York Jets are putting Elijah Moore on the field just as much as any other wide receiver. Sure, he doesn't have the most targets on the team, and sure, he isn't the wide receiver number one, but he's still getting a lot of snaps. And all of those snaps aren't always passing plays, and the New York Jets haven't really thrown the ball a whole lot the past 2 weeks, which is definitely one thing Elijah Moore needs to consider. And he also needs to know that every target's not going to go to him because he's not open every single play. And I feel like Elijah Moore is just really frustrated that he's not the wide receiver number one on the New York Jets. But to be the wide receiver number one, you have to earn that spot. And ultimately, the New York Jets feel that Corey Davis or Garrett Wilson is worthy of being that wide receiver number one and not Elijah Moore. Moore still kind of has to prove that. And if he wants to be wide receiver number one, he has to ball out in practice. He has to start balling out in games instead of having a bad attitude during practice that makes you get sent home and tweeting out all of these cryptic things on Twitter and just overall having a bad attitude. That's not how you get a lot of playing time and a lot of targets. And ultimately, I feel like right now the only thing Elijah Moore really cares about is the stats, and how his stats this season are going to affect how much he gets paid in 2 or 3 years, because ultimately that's honestly what Moore's thinking about right now. I don't really feel like he cares the New York Jets are 4-2. I mean, if he was 0-6 right now, but he had 400 receiving yards, 500 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns, I bet he would be thrilled. You know, I don't really feel like he cares too much that the Jets are winning. Doesn't really care about what the direction this organization's going in. He just cares about how his stats look right now and how that's going to affect his contract in 2 and 3 years. So Elijah Moore, not probably going to be out the window, though, because the New York Jets have no intention of trading him. But if he has no intention of being here and it doesn't look like things are going to be worked out, then why not trade him? He's most likely not going to be active he's not going to be active this week against the Broncos. That's my prediction. And who knows if he's going to be active for the rest of the games along the way. I mean, yes, this dude probably is going to be a really good player in the NFL. Future-wise, I mean, this dude's going to have a good career. I mean, that's definitely what I feel. And I mean, sure, to trade him away is a little crazy, but this wide receiver class also is good. It's not like Elijah Moore's generational talent. So, I mean, sure, if Elijah Moore truly doesn't want to be here, send him out the way, get hopefully a second-round pick in return, maybe even a really good player. I heard the Panthers need some wide receiver help after sending out Robbie Anderson. So, I mean, who knows if the Jets could get a solid player, solid pick, or maybe even both for Elijah Moore, send him out the way. And, I mean, I feel like Joe Douglas needs to know that because, I mean, he's not affecting how we're playing right now. He had 0 targets in our win last week. He really didn't have a lot of targets against the game against the Dolphins, and we still won. So, I mean, sure, trade away Elijah Moore. The New York Jets still have other receivers behind him. So, what are you guys' thoughts on this Elijah Moore situation? Comment them down below. And I'm your host, Drew Jet, signing off for now. See you guys later. Peace.